Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte, and the information that I'm going to show to you is a reason why people who have no idea about numismatics, finances, stacking, gold, silver, bullions, anything with precious metals should never, ever, 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 ever be allowed to talk about it. I don't know how smart he or she is. I don't know anything about this person, but I can tell you one thing. By looking at this article, it is clear, ladies and gentlemen, if you see this name in an article tied to precious metals, tied to finance, tied to money, tied to numismatics, throw the article in the trash. Okay? I'm going to explain why. This article targets our senior citizens. It's the best time for seniors to buy gold bars. Now, why am I leaving this on the ad and doing this? Because when we scroll down, the very first thing you should see is the lunacy of the person putting this article together. You ready? Here we go. So we're talking about gold investments at any time can be really especially lucrative. Folks, those aren't gold. They're golden-ish, but they're not gold. In fact, the metal that you see here is manganese. And the value of these, $1. Now, you may be able to find some of them that don't have the motto on the rim, or you may be able to find something really rare or valuable like a mule or something, but those are oddities, those are rarities, those are varieties that just don't show up very often. But it's not the gold content that makes those valuable. It's the numismatic rarity that makes that valuable. Here, it's nothing. And this is the very first thing that the article brings up, that they're talking to our seniors about how to preserve their wealth. Microsoft and CBS News should be ashamed of themselves for ever allowing this article to be published online. It should be removed because they are feeding them horrible, horrible, horrible information. If you're a younger crowd and you're looking at this and you're laughing because it looks stupid, guess what? They're targeting you too. So be very aware as we read this information that there are pieces of information found within this article that are extremely bad. And I'm not a financial person, but again, not as a financial person, I know some of this stuff is really basically stupid. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into reading this article. So you'll see that gold can be a smart investment at any time, but there comes a time where it can be especially lucrative. That is absolutely truth. There are times where it can be more lucrative than the other. So I'm going to scroll down and it says, as we grow older, it becomes increasingly important to secure our future and ensure that we will be financially stable during retirement. That's a little bit of a misnomer. As soon as you're able to start putting money away and start investing and start saving, whether it be, you're going to want to diversify. So whether you're going to be starting to stack or put some money into precious metals, you need to do that as early as possible. Don't wait until you're older to do it. So this is a little bit older. As we grow older, yeah, that's true. But again, this is targeting our seniors. But for the people who are not seniors that are watching this, I really want you to understand that you should be putting money away now. Not necessarily fiat, not that paper stuff that you can use to wipe your butt with. I'm talking about hardcore currency, gold, silver, and things of that nature that are going to hold their value. All right. So let's go ahead and get back into the article. It becomes increasingly important. Yep, got that. One way to do this is by investing in gold bars and coins. I'm going to stop again and take out the word investing because you don't utilize it as an investment. Numismatics, bullion, these are not investment things. These are things to offset. These are hedges against inflation. These are hedges. So you don't want to utilize it necessarily as an investment. It makes a pretty poor investment, but it is good to have within your portfolio in order to diversify that portfolio. So be careful with that term investing. You don't really want to invest in silver and gold. That gives the pretense that you're going to be taking something like an ETF. If you're going to stack silver and gold, stack tangible. Don't stack ETFs. Don't stack that kind of stuff. All right. So back to the story. Gold has long been considered a low risk option for both young and old investors. Yes, I agree, helping them to diversify their portfolios, just as I said a moment ago, and protect them against losses from riskier assets. Absolutely truth. Older investors seeking to preserve their retirement savings, buying a strategic amount of gold and bars can be a great choice. Absolutely truth. There's nothing wrong with that statement. I'm good with that. That said, as with any investment, timing plays a role in your success. That could be more true. Timing does play, but you're going to find as we get back down into this story, you're going to find that they don't understand what they're talking about. And I'll get into that here in just a minute. But there are times, if you can invest wisely, that it can become lucrative. Okay, here's where the story gets really bad. The best times for senior to buy gold bars and coins is during economic downturns. That is absolutely backwards. That is the worst time to buy. In an economic downturn, the price of gold goes up, it doesn't go down. You want to buy when it's low. And the reason that you want to buy when it's low is, again, you're hedging your money against inflation. So as the economy gets worse, the price of gold will go up, meaning that the money you set into that physical gold or silver is actually going to maintain that level of wealth. If you buy at the top and then the economy gets really good, you've lost a lot of that money. So during economic downturns, that's actually backwards. You want to buy it when money's good. You want to buy it when it's abundant. That's when you really want to put it away. When interest rates are low, okay, again, interest rates usually are low when the economy is good. They kind of battle themselves here. When they're talking about interest rates and they're talking about things like that, it kind of depends. Now, I am not a financial expert. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not something that I do normally. So I'm going to leave the investing and the interest rates and the market and money shares and all that kind of stuff like that to people who actually really understand it. This is one section I'm not going to talk a lot about because I don't know about it, but I will say this. You don't want to be putting information into a security bond or security yield or some sort of ETF. You want to be buying tangible gold. So if they're talking about gold and they're talking about investing like that, and you don't want to be taking money out, you don't want to be accumulating debt to buy the precious metal. So if they're talking about buying it, taking out that debt and doing it when the interest rates are low so that you have less money to pay back over time, you're going to be paying more than it's worth. Do not go into debt in order to stack. Just do not do it. It's bad. Same thing with numismatics. Do not buy numismatics through credit cards. Don't do it. Now, if you're disciplined enough and you can utilize a credit card to purchase something and immediately be paying it off so you don't accrue that debt, then it's fine. You can gain interest points, and there are strategies that can be utilized to utilize a credit card to your advantage. Do I recommend them? Not unless you're extremely adept at budgeting and you're really disciplined in the effort. Otherwise, you can do too much. You can put yourself into a hole, and then you can end up in a debt that you can't recover from. So be very, very careful about doing that. When the dollar is weak, again, it's backwards. You don't want to be investing when the economy is bad. Now, granted, you want to buy when the economy is strong. Now, the dollar may be weak here and there, but it hasn't, just like it says, gold has an inverse relationship to it. Don't be buying when the dollar's weak. Buy when the dollar is strong. You want to buy in a good economy. Buy when the economy. So they're kind of messing this up a little bit. They kind of think they have the right premise, but they're a little backwards in the intent and in the understanding of what it actually means. I wish people had more of an understanding. Again, as somebody who's not a financial expert, I know this. And so people should be able to know that you don't want to do it. Now, here's the thing. Okay. So they want to talk about it when the interest rates are low, but then they want to say when inflation is elevated. That doesn't make any sense. So within their own article, they're kind of chomping at each other. They're kind of going back and forth, looking at the information and saying one thing, but they're talking out both sides. They really are just saying that these are times to buy, and this is when the economy is good, and this is when gold is high, and you want to make sure you have it when it's high. You want to have it when it's high, but you want to buy it when it's low, right? And so there are times to buy. You want to look at things like dollar cost per average. Look at your cost per ounce. And if you're buying and your cost per average is going up, then you may want to hold a little bit and look at when a good time. If the price of gold goes down and you can buy more and increase the gap in that dollar cost per ounce, so if your dollar cost per ounce goes down, you're doing a good thing. If your dollar cost per ounce goes up, then you want to be careful about getting it to where it's too high so that if it does go down, you don't reverse yourself and put it to where you have more in the money, in the gold or in the silver than it's worth. So again, as I look through this thing, they're just giving the information backwards. They're trying to tell people that now is a good time. The economy is getting bad. Buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. And I'm not saying not to buy gold. I'm just saying that this isn't the best time to do it. And if you're a senior or you're new coming on, you really want to strategize. Yes, right now, our economy is going through a really, really tough time. And there's a good possibility that we may have major issue. And you want to have these assets. But now, buying right now, it's a gamble because is it going to go up? Well, we don't know yet. There are things that are at play. There are political things at work that gold and silver could drop before they go up. If you buy now, you could lose a lot more than you stand to gain by waiting a few months. In turn, if you don't buy now, then it could go up and you could have to pay a little bit more for the same amount. So go to an investor, go to somebody who really understands this. Don't take information from Frosty, make decisions and go spend a bunch of cash. I'm not a financial guy. I can't do it for you. But looking at the bottom line here in this article, it says buying gold can be an excellent strategy for seniors. Caveat to this, yes, it can be a smart investment at any time. Maybe not any time. And you definitely want to make sure you're investing in actual gold, not these stupid little gold dollars that they showed us at the very beginning, because this is not going to save your investment at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Frostbyte. I hope you enjoyed this. Here's my little rant, but I saw this and I couldn't resist. Take care of yourselves. Be well, be blessed, and I will see you in the streams.